I've been lying to my roommate about how much our bills cost. I, 24F, and my best friend, 24F, live in an apartment together. For privacy reasons I will refer to her as Bree. The two of us have been best friends since we were 9. We met at school and have been inseparable ever since. If you ask me on a deeper level, I would probably say she is my sister, not just my friend. We ended up going to separate colleges, and during those 4 years we always talked about how fun it would be to live together after graduation. Once we graduated we decided to hold off on our dream of living together. The careers we chose aren't known for paying very much and we needed to save money. We decided to live with our parents and save money for a few years. I will always acknowledge how blessed I am in the parent department. They were so easy to live with and those years at home were actually really fun. Bree on the other hand has a more complicated situation. Her dad was never really around. He left when she was 7 and is completely uninvolved. And that left her mum to raise Bree and her 2 little sisters alone. I've been around long enough to also be close with Bree's family. The simplest way I can explain it. Bree's mum needs therapy. I have a lot of love in my heart for her mum, but I also know that my friend deserves better. I give her a lot of credit for the cycles of abuse that she did break. She is doing the best with the pieces she has to work with, but at some point, you need to get professional help so you and your children can have normal healthy relationships. Bree ended up filling the classic oldest sister stereotype but on steroids. A lot of responsibility fell onto her and somehow most problems were her fault. At a young age Bree filled the role of the second adult in the house. On more than one occasion I have been driven to angry tears on behalf of my friend. The years we lived with our parents I was able to save most of my money. Bree on the other hand was not. As time went on her relationship with her mum got worse and worse. I can't say it was ever healthy, but I had to sit and watch it evolve into something worse than it ever was. I decided that it was time for me to move out of my parents' house and offered for Bree to come with me. I was prepared to live alone, but I wanted to give her a zero pressure option out if she wanted to take it. She agreed, but she would bring up concerns about being able to afford it. We found an apartment in our budget that we felt safe at. When it came time to set up utilities Bree had a lot going on so I told her I would take care of it. I set up all the accounts and told her she could just send me her half each month. Neither of us have high paying jobs. I'm a teacher, but I know I make more than Bree, and I was able to save up more money while living at home. Bree has anxiety about a lot of things, but money has always been a big one. We grew up in similar financial situations and both know the importance of saving whatever you can and trying to avoid debt. When we got our first set of bills it was about what I expected, but I started thinking of what 50% of it was and I knew it would stress her out and wouldn't leave her with much money for other expenses. I looked at my own budget and knew what I could afford, so I lied. I gave her a number lower than 50% that I thought she would find believable, and I've done that every month since. Rent is split 50-50 and she pays that on her own, but everything else, electricity, Wi-Fi, renter's insurance, etc., is all through me. If I was honest, I'd say we split those bills 70/30. If she ever found out I know she would feel so guilty. A tiny part of me feels a little guilty for lying to her, but another part of me feels completely justified because of how good she is doing right now. Since living with me she has started therapy and I've seen a huge change. I have always seen Bree for the amazing girl that she is. For years I have prayed that she will see what I see. She, just as she is so lovable. I don't think she sees all that I see right now, but for the first time I've heard her start to say things like I don't deserve to be treated that way or so I just left because I'm not dealing with that. With the space, her relationship with her mum has gotten a lot better. I plan on taking this to my grave. If I can help it, she will never find out what I've done still am doing. I guess if she straight up asked me because she logged into our accounts and saw the actual bills I would be honest with her. I'm not going to lie like that just to hide it, but I hope that doesn't happen. Sometimes people just deserve a break. After 20+ years of her taking care of everybody else, I'm taking care of her whether she knows about it or not. I love you Bree. You deserve the world. Edit. I've never posted on Reddit before and I saw a few comments telling me to type in paragraphs. I think I split it up where it makes the most sense. Most of the Reddit content I've consumed up to this point has been other people reading it so I didn't know. Thank you to everyone who's been so nice to me. I didn't think anyone would read it. I just needed a place to process the entire situation. And thank you for the feedback on typing in paragraphs. I don't know if I'll ever post again but I'll remember that for next time. I was sexually assaulted by my sister's husband, but she blamed me, and now my own husband does too. I stayed with my sister and her husband for a couple of days because I needed a break from my own husband. who has been verbally abusive. This was my first time spending nights at their house. On the first night, the three of us planned to watch a movie together, but my sister went to bed early. Her husband asked if we could watch it without her, but I declined since the plan was for all three of us to watch it. The next couple of days seemed normal, and I didn't notice any red flags. I was too busy dealing with my own issues, considering leaving my husband. This afternoon, while no one was home, I fell asleep on the couch in the living room. I woke up to find my sister's husband with his hand on my breast. I quickly asked him what he was doing and got up. He said, "I can make you feel so much better." I was terrified and screamed for him to leave me alone. He then told me, "Even if you tell your sister, she won't believe you over me." Despite his warning, I called my sister immediately. Well, he was right. She accused me of trying to seduce her husband and told me to leave her house immediately. She didn't want to see me when she returned. I called my husband to pick me up, and when he arrived, there was a huge argument between him and my sister's husband, which escalated to physical violence. Now, I'm back with my husband, but he's blaming me for everything, saying none of this would have happened if I hadn't left him. I've been sexually assaulted, and it feels like no one cares about my feelings. My sister has blocked my number, and we feel completely alone, to the point where I don't even want to be here on earth anymore. My cousin has been writing erotica about me. My cousin is 19F while I'm 25F and my boyfriend is 23M. I rarely ever see her, but every time I did I was with my boyfriend. Recently I saw her at a family reunion and when she saw me she was really nervous, which she wasn't ever like before to me. When I got to sit down and talk with her, she confessed that since the last time we met, around a year, she was writing erotic writing about me and my boyfriend. She showed some of her writing to me, and it was like she was almost proud of herself. I said that it was nice and I didn't talk to her again. I didn't tell my other family about it though. It's just so weird and honestly disgusting. The small part that I read that she showed me was literally just fetishizing my boyfriend. Again, I don't even see her at all, so this was just so random and weird. All I can describe this with is weird. I don't ever want to see her again, as extreme as it sounds. Yuck. My husband quit his job without telling me. My husband and I are separated, but living together. Separate lives, separate bedrooms. The main issues in the marriage are undiagnosed untreated ADHD and alcoholism. We are currently living amicably, still legally married. His job was always the provider for my health insurance, and he also has shouldered the majority of the house bills, but I work and contribute a lot as well. In our current arrangement, I continue to pay for many shared items, all groceries, home necessities, all pet bills, multiple home upgrades, all furniture, my own phone expenses and clothes, makeup. I bought my own car, etc. I also continue to do the majority of the pet care, cleaning, home maintenance and laundry. So his pending job offer in another state has been in the works for about 9 months. It's a government gig, so many hoops to jump, and he has been informed the preliminaries are done and they are searching for his placement. The future job situation is unknown, aka he should get the job offer, but it is not guaranteed and who the hell knows when the offer will come through. He hates his current job. The atmosphere is especially toxic at the moment, exasperated due to recent things he pulled, communications that went over current boss's head, etc. The shock came this morning when he told me he gave his notice yesterday. When I mentioned no job meant no health care, he said something about Cobra, but followed it with something about finishing up the paperwork for our situation. I'm still processing, but I believe the correct translation is as follows. He feels I am no longer his responsibility to care for and my feelings mean nothing. Also, he'd rather assume his employment is assured than wait until he had the job in hand. I feel like he chose the nuclear option that blew up any semblance of concern for my well-being. Yes, we are separated, but we were mutually beneficial in many ways, and I thought he cared enough about my well-being to not create a rift while still cohabitating. I am naive. I've always thought of him as a good man. Am I right or wrong? And please explain it like I'm 5 years old.